Many times my state has been the problem. I love it. It's where I want to die, but no time soon.
Lindsey Graham is gone. And in Washington, that's not just a loss. It's a problem. Because Graham wasn't just another vote in the Senate. He was Trump's closest ally on Capitol Hill, the chair of a powerful committee, and the guy running point on some of the president's biggest priorities. His death doesn't just leave a hole in South Carolina's delegation. It scrambles Trump's entire legislative math, right when he needs it least. Let's start with the numbers. Republicans now hold 52 seats in the Senate. That's already a thin margin, and it just got thinner because Senator Mitch McConnell has been hospitalized for weeks, meaning the GOP was already operating shorthanded before Graham's death. Now they've lost a second vote, on top of losing the chair of the Senate Budget Committee. That matters because Graham was in the middle of steering a complicated budget reconciliation process, the mechanism Republicans were counting on to push through Trump's voter ID bill without needing Democratic votes. That process doesn't run itself. Someone has to take the wheel, and right now, nobody knows who that is. There's also a confirmation fight this week. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is up before the Senate Judiciary Committee, hoping to be confirmed to lead the Justice Department permanently. Graham was expected to be one of his fiercest defenders in that room. Without him, that fight just got harder for the White House.
Acting today like the president's personal attorney, and that's the whole problem. You have a whole banner of his face hanging over the Department of Justice, and you and everybody else walks under it, and you are acting like you're his current personal attorney.
You do not belong in this job, Mr. Acting Attorney General. You should always recuse yourself from these issues because you are the president's lawyer. You are not the lawyer for the United States. Yes, you are.
And then there's Ukraine. Graham had just come back from Kyiv days before he died, and he was one of the loudest voices in the Senate pushing for continued military support against Russia. Senate Foreign Relations Democrat Jeanne Shaheen said the best tribute to Graham now would be finishing what she called his long-held dream of an independent and secure Ukraine. Whether Republicans pick up that fight the same way Graham did is an open question. So who fills the seat? That's where South Carolina comes in. Under state law, Republican Governor Henry McMaster gets to name a temporary replacement. No waiting, no vote required. He can do it as soon as he wants. McMaster's spokesperson says right now the focus is on honoring Graham, but the pressure to move fast is real, especially with the Senate already down a member. Trump himself has already weighed in. Asked on NBC's Meet the Press who should get the seat, he said, "I have somebody that I think would be great." There's precedent for how this could play out. Back in 2013, Governor Nikki Haley appointed Tim Scott to fill a Senate vacancy, and Scott went on to win the seat outright and hold it ever since. McMaster could try the same move, hand the seat to someone who then runs and keeps it rather than picking a placeholder who steps aside. But here's the twist. This isn't only about who sits in the seat today. Graham had already won his own primary for a fifth term, which means Republicans also need a new nominee for November's election, separate from whoever gets the temporary appointment. State law sets a special primary for August 11th, with a possible runoff on August 25th if nobody wins a majority. Whoever wins that race will face Democrat Dr. Annie Andrews in November, regardless of who's keeping the seat warm in Washington in the meantime. So in the span of one sudden weekend, Trump lost his closest Senate ally, Republicans lost their Budget Committee chair, and South Carolina lost a 23-year fixture in Washington, all while a governor, a president, and a handful of ambitious politicians scramble to figure out what comes next.